what, as per you, Mr. Daruwala, what will be the impact on power sector with likely increase in the APM gas price from $4.2 per MMBTU?
See, I think the gas price increase and the effect on the large power plants is a massive national debate going on right now, and I think it's a huge problem for the power sector, and the gas sector is saying that we can't afford to pump out at this price. So I think that's something that will get settled by market dynamics. I've got a very strong view here on actually the policy which can substantially benefit the entire country. Now, this is on the utilization of the gas. If you see that the large power plants which are 500,000, 4,000, which they're looking at putting up on gas, they have a total efficiency of about 49% is the total electrical efficiency you'll get. What's the option? You want to use gas for power. The other option is that if you see globally, they've got distributed power is a massive model. So here you've got a situation where a lot of things are beneficial. One is that your entire load of the plant, the electrical demand will come down by 20% because you're actually cooling using waste heat. So the electricity demand is coming down. You've got a situation where you're not putting any load on the grid. You've got direct gas power, you're generating it yourself. The costs are much lower than doing it centrally and then transmitting it all over the country because of your transmission distribution efficiency of the system.
Mr. Shukla, your views on this point?
I think Mr. Daruwala rightly explained, and particularly the thing which catches attention of everybody is the conversion of the energy content in the gas to the electricity and various other forms, So it would be very much useful if we could have this gas available. And the problem as of now is that anyway, for the gas is not available, and probably that's not good for the future of the industry or the power plants which are based on the gas. And probably from 2015 onwards, it will start becoming, let's say, available. Another thing I wanted to which came to my mind was, with respect to coal, probably a disruptive technology like CBM, coal bed methanation, that is something which is also needed for efficiencies to be improved. I mean, rather than the incremental efficiency improvement, I'm talking about the rapid or let's say very, very disruptive kind of efficiency improvement by bringing into the CBM technology into the country.
I would like to add one more point on gas. You see, if you take gas, it's though it's very expensive, in fact, it's the most expensive form of energy compared to coal, even renewables. Renewables are cheaper than gas. But gas has a very important advantage, and that one is something it can ramp up power very quickly.
Yeah.
Unlike coal or any others.
Right.
And it comes very handy when you want to complement it with renewable power.
So my next question is to Mr. Shukla. As per you, what role does a storage system play in making solar and wind plants to be more responsive to the grid?
Talking about solar, basically what we see, like we have the two technologies, solar photovoltaics and solar thermal. And right now, for solar thermal, the case is very well established. It's very easy to store the energy in the form of heat, either with the use of molten salt or with the use of HDF itself. So there is a possibility of storing the heat. Though on the photovoltaics, you would need a lot of batteries or the huge sets to store this electrical energy. And I think a lot of research and development is going on that. But as far as this solar thermal is concerned, it's very much possible, and it has been also observed to have a very positive impact on the returns on your investment. So first of all, if you have a storage system, then what you can do is, you can collection of the solar energy and then conversion to electrical can be delinked. During the daytime, when you have this solar energy available, you can collect all that energy, and whatever is required by the grid, you pump into the grid after converting to electrical. Whatever is not required, you just store it as heat energy. And then that thermal energy during night, when the sun is not there, or during evenings when the power requirements suddenly go up, this can be used.
Recently, there have been a policy directive for scheduling and forecasting generation from the wind sources. What are the implications for this for the sector? Because I'm sure it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. A few years back, when somebody says, okay, the seashore is the best place to put wind turbines, because you get plenty of wind there. But it's a fallacy. You don't get wind on the seashore. Where you get wind is on the mountains. And in the mountains, wind is more predominant, you get higher velocities, more generation. So wind has been progressing, but one of the greatest problems about wind is its infirm nature. You can't predict when it is there, when it is not there. As we go on penetrating more and more wind power into the grid, the problem comes is that the grid cannot take that sudden shock of sudden outages of wind, because something has to back up. Like I said earlier, gas is a good alternative which can back up when wind is not there. And you can't do anything about it, it's nature. You can't control wind. But this has been a problem which has been faced by load dispatch centers, and they have been putting a lot of pressure that wind must be forecast and scheduled. And that is becoming effective. In fact, it has become effective from 15th of July.
If I can add one point on the wind side, so it's true that wind potential is much higher on the mountains or on the hillside, but it's also true that the wind potential is equally high offshore. So that's where still we need to the policy matter needs to come out of that. If you see most of these European countries, whether it's Germany, Netherlands, most of those countries are already having an installed capacity of in excess of 5 gigawatts on the offshore side. The challenge there is to how to bring the offshore power back to the shore and then do that. That's where the new technologies will come into picture, HVDC and other things.